Guys, it's Quana. Welcome to Her Real Review. Happy Tuesday night to all of my This Is Us fans. So if you're like me, you just got finished watching This Is Us. And I have thoughts about this episode. I would love to know how you felt about the episode down below in the comments. And spoilers for tonight's episode. This is season 5, episode 7, entitled There. So I'm gonna just jump right on into my recap and my review of the episode. If you haven't watched the episode and you do not want spoilers, please come back and see us again later, because I'm just gonna go ahead and go into the episode. So if you recall from last episode, which was like a long time ago, we saw at the end of the Birth of Mother episode that Randall picked up the phone and he was ready to reconcile with Kevin. And so he calls Kevin to try to make peace, and he finds out that Madison is in labor, and Kevin, who is stuck in Vancouver, well, he was in Vancouver to be filming, and he's trying to get back. Y'all, this episode triggered anxiety I did not know I had, watching this man navigate this road, trying to get down into LA for the birth of his kids. You would have been better off hiring, like when you're in that kind of a situation, you are better off hiring somebody to drive you, because like this man was an accident waiting to happen. So literally we're watching Kevin ride down the highway looking like he's about to kill everybody. And of course in the promo we see a car accident and we see his driver's license on the ground. Well, lo and behold, I'm just going to go ahead and stick on Kevin's storyline right now, because it's not Kevin who's run off the road. He witnesses, or he sees the after effects of a wreck. And who is in the car? Well, it's our good friend Josh Malina from Scandal. And he's in an accident. And Kevin gets to play Jack Pearson's son and rescues him, but drops his wallet, which he's going to need when he tries to get to the airport to board the plane to get home to Madison and the babies. Looking back in the past, we get 3 storylines kind of connected to the idea of fathers and car riding. So we see way back in the past a young Jack Pearson, who is a baseball player, would going to a game. He loses the game. His drunken daddy gives him a whole bunch of drama over him losing the game. And then his drunk daddy is too drunk to drive home, so he pressures Jack to drive them home. But ultimately, it leads to a later revelation that Jack has, that even though his dad had a lot of issues, his dad went to every game and he still supported him as best as he could. So we see that kind of informed the person that Jack was as a dad, when a young Kevin had an opportunity to go to football camp and play and get some looks from some young QBs from the Penn State team. And he's trying to support Kevin, but he's being a bit of a football dad and being a bit of just super pressuring. And we see Kevin with his kind of, it's not an eating disorder per se, but I guess like he does have anxiety around his prospects of success, and so he's literally vomiting. And through him finding out that, he finds out that like not only has the coach been riding him, but has been degrading him and belittling him. Like, George Eads, come on, you was the dude back in the CSI days, but like I really wanted Jack to swing on you tonight, bro. Like, you deserve to get hit. And I'm glad that they didn't, but I really wanted Jack to swing on him. And Kevin and Jack get the bond where he finally gets to tell Jack, like, you and mom don't think I'm smart. I don't have anything. This is the only thing that I have according to y'all, and you don't think I would be anything without this. And that's the only reason why you're here. And he kind of hears Jack say to him, no, I'm here to support you. Like, my dad went to every game and he just supported me, and that's why I'm here. It's not about me thinking that you have to do this to be successful. I just want you to, try, and I want you to have something that you love, and da 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 da. Which, I don't know about you, but it just begs the question for me. Kevin has kind of taken Jack's whole life and built him up to be this perfect man. It has made him the platform, the rubric for which he lives his life. And because he feels like he never measures up to Jack's standards, he always feels like a failure. And we see that even as a young young Kevin, that he's always comparing his relationship with his parents to their relationship with Randall or their relationship with Kate. And he's never really seen the moments in which his parents are there for them. Now, Jack makes a statement kind of to the effect of like, we never really see our parents for who they are. And I think that's definitely true in Kevin's case. But I don't know about y'all. I just don't understand, because I know my parents weren't perfect. I knew they weren't perfect. Parents, if y'all are watching, I love y'all. But y'all weren't perfect raising me. And I grew up and I knew y'all weren't perfect as I was going through it. So I just don't understand having such good parents. You're recognizing their flaws, and all kids get damaged in some way by their parents. But like, it's to a whole nother level with Kevin, where he's really like his self-esteem, where it just doesn't quite make sense. And I guess that's where you can see, like, psychologically, it's not just our environment that makes us who we are and that affects us in that way. Like, there's got to be something more to this, because I just have not seen enough evidence to show why Kevin doubts himself so much. And even in the midst of the end scene, where he's trying to convince the TSA agent to just give him a pass, like, please, I'm famous, please, I have to be there for the birth of my kids, like, please help me, this is going to destroy me. Like, I get it, like, that's a tremendous amount of guilt that you would feel not being there for your fiance for the birth of your children. But this is outside of your ability. Now, you have done everything you could to get there, and this happened, and that poor woman, she can't do anything for you. Like, she would lose her job. Like, you would call Steven Spielberg and ask for a plane ride, something. Ron Howard, somebody. Like, it just is not, it doesn't make sense to me for him to have that much self-doubt built up around the identity of who his father was, and feeling like he can't measure to his father. Because where was the pressure for him to be his father? Likewise, Jack had a horrible father, so Jack felt pressure to be perfect because his dad was horrible, or to be at least certainly better than his dad. So it's just not making sense to me. Now, I will say Justin was doing some of his best acting, like the look in his face, the makeup, the stare, the vacant stare of like just being tired, exhausted, and stressed and driving. Like, we have all been there. Again, it triggered all of my anxiety watching him drive. But I fear that if he doesn't make it, it's going to spiral him out of control. Worse yet, I feel like, because at the end we see Randall and Beth call Madison and reach out to help her, the fact that they're able to be there with her, as we saw in the promo. Well, what we think we saw in the promo was them talking to Madison, but the way they edited it could have been something with Kate. But either way, assuming that they're on the phone with Madison while she's going there, and if Kevin is not there, I feel like he's going to take it out on Randall, and he's going to lash out at Randall, because once again, perfect Randall kind of somehow saved the day versus, him being able to do what he needs to do to be there. But all that being said, I'm glad that he stood up to Foster. I'm glad that he stood up to his agent. I'm glad we finally got a chance to see Miguel, and Rebecca again, because we ain't seen them in God knows when. I done forgot all about I literally forgot Kate was supposed to be having a baby. Like, I was like, oh, are they still signed up for that? Is that still supposed to be happening? So apparently we're getting that next week. So we're going to get Kate's second baby birth story, assuming they get the baby, or Madison's birth story next week. Hopefully, I think they said it's going to be next week. Watch them play with my emotions and they move it back another week or two, which I know we in the panorama, so I get it, but they playing with my emotions, because then don't tell me 1 week and then decide we're not going to make it next week. So I'm just saying. So I'm glad we got to see all those people, but like I said, they need to kind of find ways to embed what's going on with the other characters, even when they're doing like standalone episodes, because like they could have, I don't know how they would have worked that in with the birth mother episode, but I'm just thinking they should have found a way. Like maybe Randall could have been on the phone with Kate on the drive up to New Orleans, and then we arrive. Because I just forgot about poor Kate's storyline altogether. I feel bad. I think this was a good episode, a strong episode. It was cute, him saving Josh Malina. But all that being said, they played us because we all thought it was going to be Kevin. I mean, I'm grateful it wasn't Kevin, but I also don't like when we get those obvious like smoke and mirrors, like we want to make you think that something happened to Kevin and then nothing happened to Kevin. I almost would have wished Kevin had gotten in a teensy with a bit of accident and something like that, versus him rescuing Josh Malina and then still can't get to the birth of his baby. And then you got me all expecting, especially after that drive, I'm just saying. So it was a good, solid episode. I enjoyed it. It was interesting. I wasn't as interested as like the baby Jack Pearson flashback. I mean, it was interesting to see a little bit more about his dad and his relationship, but we know his dad, like, I don't feel like we learned anything new from that. I mean, other than, okay, I guess his dad tried, he wasn't completely horrible, but I just didn't feel like it added much to the storyline. On the other hand, Jack should have coached him hands. So that's how I feel about it. How do you feel about that in the comments? So do you feel like Jack should have gave Coach some hands? Do you feel like they should have put Kevin in an accident? That sounds really bad when I say that, but y'all know what I'm trying to say. And what do you think Kevin's reaction is going to be if he can't make it? Or are they just going to go ahead and have it there? We are getting, I think, closer and closer and closer to having the information we need to piece together who all is with Kate. Because remember, in the flash forward, we haven't seen Kate. We haven't seen teenage Jack, little Jack. We haven't seen this new baby. I forgot what they said they were going to name the new baby. We haven't seen Madison. We don't know if Madison and Kevin are still together or not. I don't think so. Of course, we haven't seen Deja or Annie. So hopefully we'll get some more pieces of information to know what is going on. But yeah, I thought this was a good episode. What did y'all think? Hopefully you guys liked it. Do me a favor, and if you enjoyed this recap and review of This Is Us, and you like to have, more thoughts and ideas and have more conversation around This Is Us, do me a favor and hit the subscribe button. And please feel free to comment. Do not only run to Facebook, to the message boards and whatnot in Facebook. Feel free to come down in the comments below and let me know what you thought about tonight's episode. What would you have changed? What did you like? What did you not like? The good, the bad, the ugly. I'm open for all forms of dialogue. So until next time, guys, hopefully it'll be next week. Toodles!